Good afternoon. This is Mark Heisler. I'm here to talk about some new regulatory guidance that has been in the news for quite a period of time now, close to a year. And these do deal with new fiduciary rules that were enacted by the Department of Labor. If you've been watching and reading news reports, you may have noticed that the new Trump administration had issued an order to delay the enforcement of these new rules. Well, as it turns out, that information is still fluid, and it appears that the administration essentially has said to the Department of Labor to review the rules, but there is not anything in this administrative memorandum that indicates that there will actually be a delay in the applicability of these new regulations. Now, that being said, what I wanted to do was spend a little bit of time talking about what these new rules were, how they affect plan sponsors and plan participants, and then what we can expect to see going forward. So let me begin with the fact that we have different client segments. We have clients who have retirement plans that are subject to ERISA, and there is practically no change to a plan sponsor's obligations to participants for plans that are today subject to ERISA, and that is because you already have a fiduciary standard that you need to impart when making decisions on plan matters. For clients who are in public education, local government, churches who have plans that are not subject to ERISA, as well as nonprofit clients who have ERISA exempt safe harbor plans, these new rules do not change your status today. You are not, unless state law intercedes, you are not in a fiduciary capacity with respect to those plans. Now, what the new rules do change is that individual retirement accounts, or IRAs, are now subject to a fiduciary standard. And when you look at what that means, it has greater applicability to the investment advisors and the firms that they represent with respect to changes that they need to make in terms of how they do business with respect to individual retirement accounts. So specifically, what does it mean for a financial advisor and the firms they represent? These organizations must act in the best interest of their clients. And that's essentially what a fiduciary standard is that you're acting in a prudent manner and making decisions, making recommendations that are in the best interest of the client. One of the other changes that is taking place more broadly within the industry is that as part of the DOL rules, certain types of compensation structures for advisors, which were deemed to be incentive-based, are now prohibited under these new rules. So we're going to see, some significant changes with respect to how advisors and the firms that they work with will conduct themselves with respect to the changes that are taking place. Now, at the beginning of my segment, I mentioned that there has been press reports that there may be some type of delay in the effective date of these regulatory changes. We've reviewed a bunch of different sources of information, and it appears a little bit muddled. And I don't think that that's really the point here. The fact of the matter is that the financial services industry, the retirement marketplace in general, has been working on accommodating and coming into compliance with these new rules for over a year. And even when the election results came out and there was a new administration, most of these organizations signaled that they were going forward. And even with all of this confusion with respect to whether there is a delay or a new review process that's going to take place, the market has remained steadfast in the fact that they are introducing those reforms that will be necessary for complying with these new DOL regulations. So the bottom line is I don't expect to see any changes with the way the industry is going to react to these. And as they're unveiled over the course of the next several months, we'll be providing you with additional information with respect to how these rules may impact you and your plans. Thank you.